We have a double header event with double the Vaylantz. To the 34% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder here. So what is going on out here? We have another OCG event here, and this time we have double Vaylantz out here. Now, we have recently seen that this deck is taken off in the TCG on the back burner from an FTK topping in France to a combo variant topping a regional in New Zealand. And then we come here today, and we have, well, two different variations of a very interesting take on Vaylantz, and that's actually kind of interesting. We still had a Tier Elements deck top this event, all right? That's the big thing I want to point out here was, you know, even in the vastness of Vaylantz, you know, duking it out here with this, first and second were Vaylantz. They did not drop out of the event. I repeat, they did not drop the event. They took the event. All right, and then we also, like I said, we had Tier Elements here. And we also had a Thunder Bysteel deck. Now, Thunder Bysteel has been gaining a lot of popularity as of late in the OCG. I mean, honestly, anything you can cram an entire Bysteel package into is pretty popular right now. But the fact that you are seeing these multiple engine decks starting to take off is very good. Now, we also had a ninja deck that ended up topping this event as well, which is very, very nice as well. I do know that everybody's always happy when they're like, oh my gosh, Robbie, do you have the ninja sauce? Yes, this is one of the last ninja decks that I have seen, and it looks like they have repower crept back into the void. So kind of disappointing to know and hear that, but nonetheless, I am very, very happy to still report that we still have one lone ninja player out here doing their job. So I like making these videos is because I always get to throw in the ninja sauce out here, and people are just like, ninjas? Yes, we have it for you. So let's pass on over and take a look at some of these top deck lists. All right, the first list we're going to be looking at here out of the Saiyan Championship, God, I love that, is actually a super heavy list. Now, we're playing the triple super heavies with the general corals. I mean, these are just interjecting scales here that you'll be able to combo up with. I also see we have a lot of high scales here, actually. All right. Very interesting little combo package here that you're getting the chance to kind of mess around with here. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Robbie, the super heavy package is broken. Yes, it is. A lot of people out here have been looking for ways to kind of abuse this package, and you know, multiple people are kind of starting to find it. So we have triple copies of the Shimone, the Vaylantz Priestess. We have triple copies of Sion, the Vaylantz Archer. Then we have triple copies of Nizuki, the Vaylantz Ninja. Then we have two copies of the Buster Baron, triple copies of the Voltage Viscount, triple copies of the Mad Marquise, and then we have one copy of the Dominator Duke. And then we have two copies of good old Curtain Riser, basic stuff here. We have one copy of the Performer Pal Greatest Duelist, triple copies of the Prodigy Wakashi, two copies of General Coral, one copy of Fossil Dino, triple copies of Maxi, triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Then you have two copies of each of the field spells here. Then we have triple copies of Solo Activation, one Cross Out, and then two Called By, and two copies of Yield Talents, the good stuff. Down the extra, we have one Access Code Talker, one Apollosa with one Borrowed. We have one copy of the Grand Sulfaccord Coolius. Yeah, we are actually getting access to the big one. We have one copy of Ra 10, the Heavenly General, one copy of Celine with one Electromite, two copies of Beyond the Pendulum, one Sprite Elf, one Gallant Granite, one Baguski, one Prominence. Then we have one copy of the new Vaylantz Superpower, and we have one copy of the Grand Duke. Then we have one copy of the Majesty Pegasus, two copies of Lava Golem, two Nibiru, two Denko Rekka, one Arby's Feather Duster, two Rebel Cosmic Cyclone, one Secret Village, one Red Reboot, and two copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your first Vaylantz list. Now, shifting on over here to the second Vaylantz list. So, we cut the Super Heavy Samurai engine. We're still playing the Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo here. So what actually makes these two decks so cool is the fact that you can just tutor search for the Fossil Dyna. You can go through a full Vaylantz combo, extend up all of the ladders that you want to do, and at the end of the combo, you just Gallant Granite search for the Fossil Dyna. It is such a unique way of playing this deck, and it punishes people because they're not going to have much of a chance to play around this. That's why I really do like the idea of all the moving pieces that this deck brings to the table. So once again, we have triple copies of the Shinome, the Vaylantz Priestess, only 2 copies of the Archer. We have triple copies of the Ninja, triple copies of Buster Baron with triple copies of Voltage Viscount. We have triple copies of Marquise, and then 1 copy of Dominator Duke. Then we have 2 Archfiend Eccentrics, 1 copy of the Greatest Duelist. We have 1 Majesty Pegasus, 1 Curtain Riser with triple copies of Maxi. We have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring with 1 Fossil Dyna. And then we have 2 of each of the field spells, pretty standard. Triple solo activation with 1 copy of the spell Secret Village, 2 copies of Called By, 1 Cross Out, 1 Instant Fusion, and triple Pot of Prosperity. Down the extra deck, we have 1 Unrolled Goddess with 1 Apollosa, 1 Bolster with 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 IP, 1 Sprite Elf, 1 Electromite, 2 Beyond the Pendulums, 1 Gigantic Sprite, 1 Gallant Grant, 1 Millennium Ice, 1 Corvature, 1 copy of the Grand Duke, and 1 copy of the Arctis XII. Then we have 2 copies of Lava Golem, 2 copies of Space Rock, 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 1 Pinkertops, triple Cosmic, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Red Reboot, and 2 copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up, honestly, your secondary Vaylantz list. So those are your top end meta. Down here in the not so exciting department, we hit our Tier Elements list. Now, this list, I see, and we're playing 1 Blazing Cartesia, so this gets us access to the Grand Dragon. We are playing the Chaos Angel, and we have Lula Walleth here as well in this. So you're going to kind of see a lot of the same moving pieces that you've seen across a lot of these builds here. So we have triple copies of Merly, 2 copies of Happiness, 1 copy Shayrin with 1 Reno Heart, triple copies of the Tier Elements Cashier with 1 Fenrir. We have triple copies of King of the Swamps with triple copies of Kelbeck. We have triple copies of Mudora. Then we have 1 Keldo with 1 Agito. We have 1 Shaddoll Beast, 1 Shaddoll Dragon with 1 Skomata, 1 copy of Ariel, 1 Blazing Cartesia, and then we have triple Shaddoll Fusion. Then we have 1 Poly, 1 Terraforming, 1 Parios, 1 Paralineo, 2 Screech, 2 copies of Solic, 1 Meta Noise, and 1 Crime. Extra deck down here, we get into the basic stuff. We have the 1 Soldier Chaos, 1 Lulu Walleth, 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Zeus, your 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 Praskinian, 1 copy of the Finale Dragon, 1 Draco. We have 1 Over Dragon, 1 Chimera, 1 Winda, 1 Apkalom, 1 Shekanaga, 1 Rukalos, and 1 Kaleido Heart. Then you got double Ghost Ogre, double Gamma Seal, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Cosmic, 2 Droplet, triple Mind Control, 1 Talents, and 1 copy of the Change of Heart here, wrapping up your monstrous list. And the last list we have for this particular tournament for top 4, and we'll get into Ninja here in a second, is Thunder Bysteel. Look at 9 Bysteels in here. I mean, like I said, a lot of this deck is going to feel very, very, very much the same in comparison to a lot of the other things that you've seen, because you kind of have to rely on this package to get you where you are, because Magna Hut is limited to 1. So we have 2 copies of Lubellion, 1 copy of Magna Hut, triple copies of Druid's Worm with 1 Snoraneer. We have 2 copies of Baldrake. We have 1 Dragonhawk, triple copies of Dragon Roar with triple copies of Dragon Dark. We have 2 copies of Battery Man Solar, 2 Aloof Lupine with triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Thunder Dragon, 2 copies of Dragon Matrix with 1 Collapse Serpent, 1 Wyvern Buster with 1 Brain Regained, 2 Thunder Dragon Fusion, 1 Gold Sark, triple Lord Darkness, 1 Chaos Space, and 1 Branded Beast. Down the extra deck, you have 1 Abermax, 1 Striker Dragon with 1 Dahark, 1 Access Code, 1 Apo, 1 Unicorn with 1 IP. You have 1 Cross Sheep with 1 Hermetic Seal, 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Gustav, triple Titan, and 1 Colossus. We have 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Ghost Ogre, 1 Space Rock, 1 Pinkertops, 1 Change of Heart, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Feather Duster, 2 copies of Droplet, 2 Dark Rule No More, 2 Skill Drain, and 1 copy of Red Reboot here, wrapping up your Thunder list. And then there were Ninjas. Actually kind of cool to see some of the ratios here. This is going to feel very similar to what we've previously seen. Also, only 1 green ninja here for this list, which is kind of interesting. So we have 2 copies of Geo the Weighted Ninja, triple copies of Tobari. We have 1 green ninja with 1 copy of Kagura the Cannon Ninja, triple copies of Hanzo. We have 1 Baku, triple copies of Mitsu, triple Ash Blossom, and triple Maxi. Then we have triple copies of the Notebook, 1 copy of the Iron Shield, 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 1 copy of Rhoda, 2 copies of Called By, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, triple copies of Book of the Month, 1 Ninjutsu Art of Duplication, triple Dancing Leaves, and triple copies of Infinite Permanence. Down the extra, you got 1 Zeus, 1 Gigantic Sprite, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Unicorn, 1 Axis Code, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Sprite Elf, 2 Saizo, triple copies of the Armored Ninja, triple copies of Maizen. Then you got 2 copies of Raigeki, 1 Lightning Storm, triple Cosmic, triple Solemn Judgment, triple Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Soul Drain here. Wrapping up, well, your Saiyan Championship for this weekend. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.